What's going on, peoples? First things first, I want to give honor and praise to the man upstairs, my Savior. He gives me strength every day. You know, I'm gonna come to you about a deep subject today and a deep conversation today. And I think it's something that has been put on my heart for me to say, and hopefully it'll reach the people that it need to reach. If not, you can bypass it, whatever the situation may be. But I'm gonna try to be very obedient. First, I want to, I've done this one before. Cigar got a great price point on it. Good, very, very good cigar. And this is a Caldwell product, and it's called 15 Minutes of Fame. It's a Lancero, so of course it's going to be the best roll. Some people will have their own versions of what they consider the best roll, but the reason why the Lancero is one of the most sought out rolls is because you don't get the stem involved as much as some of your larger sizes. So you don't have that clogging of your airflow. So what you're looking at is that Lanceros are always going to be your best size because it's just leaf. Very minimal stems go into the Lancero. They can't afford to put a stem in a Lancero because of the size. The next after that is a Toro. Toro is a little bit bigger than the Lancero, but it's not as big as some of the other, gauges that are out there. And that's, pretty much on that. This is about $10. It's about $10. So if you get an opportunity to try one, definitely try it. I recommend it. Try it. And if you come across one and if you have had one, comment. Give us a comment. Tell us what you thought about it. I'm going to be very candid. And what I mean by candid is this. I'm at an age where, I'm in my 50s. I'm in my mid-50s. And one thing that I can rest assured and know about this is that once you get to this age bracket, once you get to this age group, this seasoned veteran group, there are certain things that become a lot more relevant than anything else. The things that become more relevant is, first of all, peace. Being able to identify and understand peace. Searching for peace. Making sure that peace is a part of your life. Peace is one thing that once you get to that seasoned age bracket, you realize that it is very imperative for you. The other one is time. As you get older, and closer to whatever it is that happens in your life, you really understand the value of time. You don't allow for anybody to disrupt your time, your peace or your time, because both of those things are very valuable. And another part is your cash, your money, your dinero. And so what happens is that because you are later in life and things of that nature, you cannot allow yourself to take falls because you realize that there's a shorter recovery time than when you were 25 or 30. When you're 25 or 30, you can go out there and you can make a mistake, and financially a mistake, and you can rebound from it. Once you start getting into a certain age bracket, you realize that I can't take losses like that. I can't take opportunity that will change my way of living, my way of life. The things that I work so hard to build up on, I'm not going to let them things go so easily. I gotta protect them. So most of the guys understand that evaluation of where they are. The other is creating memories and bonds with close friends, because one thing about it, you've seen a lot of BS. You've seen a lot of people capping. You've seen a lot of people, fabricating themselves. You've seen a lot of things in this world. You got to think about it. You've been on this earth, born, living, gaining knowledge, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And in those years, you should have learned something. And if you don't learn anything, or if you're still doing the same mistakes, that's a hard recovery. It's a hard recovery. The last one, and really without this one, you have nothing. And that's your health. If you do not take care of your health, all the others, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It does not matter. You got to either pick marble or tin cup. And that's really going to be up to your family. Whether or not they want to spend money, or however you decide to go out of here. If you've had those conversations with your family members and your people, that's either going to be to be burned or to be in a situation whereas you're going to have a site where somebody can come in and memorialize it and come to it and see it and all of that type of thing, all that type of stuff. So let's be realistic. That's what we are. I come to you from someone that was, had a health scare. And when I tell you, it has opened my eyes to just a lot of different things. We can play around and we can do all of these kind of things and say, hey, hey, I'm doing it. I'm going visiting here, I'm visiting there, I'm hanging out, I'm doing this. And that's really good, because those are memories that you're trying to create for yourself. And hopefully it will be with people that truly evaluate you for who you are and what you bring to them, and as opposed to what you have. Because they're going to, let's be realistic, when you get to a certain age bracket, you've truly learned to identify what things you need to have in your life, what things you don't have to have in your life, and what things you can do away with. Sorry about that. I got a loud signal thing. you start to evaluate things that you really don't have to have in your life. And all of that goes into the other 4 things that I mentioned: money, peace, time. All of those things revolve around that, because you don't want to waste time on anything that you don't have to. With the knowledge that you have, you're going to simplify everything. You're going to break it down to the simplest of form. You're not going to overwork yourself. You're going to work smarter. And you're going to be more frugal with your money. You know, we all understand that. Unless you have an abundance and you got money that's constantly coming in on a consistent basis, let's be realistic. If you go and clock in to anybody, you may be a month and a half. The average person is maybe a month and a half from bankruptcy. There may be some of you guys that are good with your money. You might be able to withstand yourself for a year, based upon how your job title, your position. But there is a very small percentage of us that can go past a year without it being an issue or concern. Because if it goes past a year, most of the time you've done well with your money, and you made investments. And what your investments are doing, you can live off of your investments. Things might be a little tighter, but you still can withstand. You can still, if something was to happen to you, you can still buy your medication. If something was to happen to you, you can still eat. If something was to happen to you, you can just still go to the doctor. So what you have to understand and realize, and that is that place yourself in a good position. Place yourself in a good position. Place yourself in a position whereas it's a winning situation for you. Hey, take care of your health. You know, if you're coughing too long, if you got too much mucus, and it goes past a week, go to the doctor. Because your body doesn't work the way that it used to when you were 20 years old. Hell, your body doesn't work like when you were 30. So a cold can manifest and stay longer in your body because you're either stressing out, you are trying to acquire money, you're working a job. If you're clocking into a job, you're clocking in, and you got more demand, you got more hours that you're working, especially if you're making a certain you're making a certain pay scale. You know, you're doing, 60 hours a week. So you understand that component. Please take care of yourself, because the last thing that you want to be is to be in care of someone else. Someone has to come in and take care of you. And guess what? If you don't have the right person to sit back and take care of you, that can be a very lonely and depressing situation to be in. Very lonely. If you get to the point where you can't even wipe your butt, someone has to wipe your butt for you. You got to make sure that you are in position for that. And if you're not in position for that, you're going to be a stinking ass. You're going to smell, because if you are ever in a health situation where as you can't do these things for yourself, please believe, it's going to be you're going to have some long days. and some sleepless nights. So you have to be very aware of that. You can't. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna be a good day for you. It's not. It's not gonna be a good day for you. So I try to make sure that everybody that I talk to understand the basic concepts, and that is that we go through things in life and we think that we know it all. Nobody's perfect. Nobody knows everything. It's just that not that kind of party. You're never gonna know everything. Because if people knew everything, we will live in a perfect utopian society. We would have no racism, no murders. We wouldn't have any assaults on people. We would not have a lot of different things that we deemed as bad. We wouldn't have them. If we lived in a perfect utopian society, we would not have it. So it further lets you know that regardless of how good you think we have it, there is always something out there that is negative. Let's be realistic. Nobody's perfect. You can have a perfect person that look paper-wise, on paper, they sharp as a tack. But you don't know about their personal life. You don't know about the deals that they do. You don't know about what gods they serve. You don't. And the sad part about it is you being in a situation whereas you attach yourself to one of those type of people. And 5 years down, 7 years down the line, you're sitting there crying because you attach yourself to the wrong person. Or you got hooked up with someone that all they did was took from you. Didn't respect who you were. Didn't value your character. And those are things that as you get older, you realize. That also goes into vetting. I've spoken about vetting. So as you get older, you realize that you have to vet properly. You have to vet better. You can't go out there and be freely to say, hey, call everybody a friend. Because everyone is not a friend. There are people that are associates. There are people that cigar buddies. Y'all sit back and y'all can talk football. Y'all might have some certain views that you guys are like. But that's about it. You don't even have same likes. And then you have people that you can really relate to. And the one thing that I've always loved about the cigar culture is the fact that, man, the conversations are just phenomenal as far as what you have. The conversations are great. The conversations are enlightening, empowering, informational, bartering, what else? Networking. All of these different type of things comes around this culture. So, and it gives you the opportunity to sit back and listen. Because sometimes the best way to learn is be quiet. Listen to what people are saying. Listen to how they're saying it. And what that will do is that will let you identify, is this the type of person that I want to have around me? Is this person sitting here telling other people's information? Trying to make a joke of it. They're not even using an alias to even tell the story. They tell, hey, so and so, man, he did this, she did that. Let's be realistic. And you have to be able to identify that, because at the end of the day, that's on you. If you choose that type of person, you can't blame no one. You can't blame no one but who? Yourself. Because you allowed that person to come into your life. That's being held accountable. It's called being held accountable. Listen, a lot of things people gonna come across, and you know, I'm the first one to let you know. You know, I am very visionary wise as far as business models, coming up with different things, helping people out. I'm always a person that's always looking to help someone out. You know, hey, somebody come to me, hey, I got this type of thing I'm trying to do. Hey, maybe you need to maybe talk to this person here. You know, putting people together. You know, being mediator a lot of times. And that's, you know, I get enjoyment out of putting people together so they can make money, enjoy themselves, have fun, all that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I get enjoyment out of that. Making sure that, hey, everybody's all right. You know, I damn sure don't want to see anybody go through any problems or any health concerns or deaths or anything like that, because I done been through them. I done been through the deaths. I done been through the health scares. I done been through all of it. You know, the money loss, money gain, bad decisions, you know, terrible smokes, all of these different type of things. I done been through them. So what I've understood is that I want to learn something from those situations. And what was the lesson that I needed to learn? I'm not a perfect person, but I strive to be a man that my father will be proud of. I strive to be a man that my grandmother, my grandfather, who raised me, would sit back and be in heaven and looking at me and be like, I taught him that. I taught him that. And guess what? He understood what the message that I was telling him. My dad used to tell me something a long time ago, and it stuck with me. Is funniest thing. And you know, a lot of people got a lot of different things. I've heard, you know, some people say a woman is a woman is a woman is a woman. I'm not gonna say what they say, but you know, a whole is a whole, a woman is a woman. It doesn't matter. And guess what? That's perfectly fine. You can believe that aspect of it. You can believe that certain situations don't matter. A woman's attitude doesn't matter. The way that she talks to you doesn't matter. The way that if she doesn't respect you, all of these things. Hey, if you cool with that, then that is fine. I have no problem with that. But everyone else does not deal with those situations, and they don't have to, because they mean that they have choices and they have standards that they deal with. There are certain things that certain men are not going to deal with. And they'll tell you straight up, listen, I'm not dealing with that, because that's going to bring problems to me. And I work too hard to be in this place where I'm at. So I'm not going to allow for you to tear that down or place me in a situation of that. You know, I want to apologize on this. I keep lighting my cigar. It's not because it doesn't breathe. It's because I'm really involved in this content that I'm telling you today, because it's personal. It's personal. Health is a personal situation. It's an attack. It's an attack. And if you don't understand what that means, attack, look it up in the dictionary. And so we have to learn how to sit back and enjoy life, make money, and look at the day that you are no longer here. What are you going to leave behind? What are people going to say about you at your funeral? You might listen. Some people don't even care. Some people don't give a damn, because they say, hey, I'm gone, so it doesn't matter what they say about me. But see, to me, I can only speak for myself. To me, that means that You do not worry about legacy. You don't worry about family, because your name should mean something. Your name, when someone says, hey, I know Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson he comes from a great line. His grandparents was good people. His dad was good people. He was a good person. That's lineage. That's legacy. Me want to represent my name. My character means a lot to me. Some people, their character don't mean shit to them. My name means something to me. So, hey, listen, it's however you want it to be. It's however you want it to be. But one thing I will say to you, and I'm going to end it on this. Find something that you can do. Find something that brings you peace. You might have to take up an art and craft. You might, smoke cigars. You might paint. You might ride your bikes. You might exercise. You might fish. You might, read a book. You might, create some music. You might write some songs. Write poetry. But find something that you can do that is yours. That is your time. You ain't got nobody else involved in it. You ain't got nobody else around that. It is your time. Second, take care of yourself, your health. Spiritually grow. And understand what your number is that will take you into your golden years. Because, as you get older, you're going to have to think about the big R word, retirement. If something was to happen right now and you needed to retire, where would you be at financially? Would you be able to withstand yourself and not have that income coming in? How could you still be able to pay your mortgage or your rent? Pay your car note, get the car fixed, go out to eat, and we talking about the Cheesecake Factory. Wherever it is that you want to go, Applebee's, Chili's, I ain't gonna even get caught up in all of that. But at the end of the day, just because somebody don't go to cheesecake, it doesn't mean that anyone else doesn't. I like cheesecake, so hey, it is what it is. And I consider myself a connoisseur of food. I consider myself a connoisseur of fine dining. I consider myself a connoisseur of some of the finer things in life. I do. Because I've seen it. I've been there. I played the game before. So I understand that world. So health, spirituality. Now let's go in order. Spirituality, health, time, money, friendship, business. All of these things should be on your agenda to review and to look at and to do daily calendar things to make sure that you strive to those particular elements. You got to strive to those elements. "15 minutes of fame." Because I had to relight, mine done turned to 25. 25 minutes of fame. No, I'm sorry. 15 minutes of fame, Caldwell. Try it. Great smoke. Comment. Leave, like it. Subscribe to it. Do all of those different type of things, and smoke well, my friends. Smoke well.